Well, happy Friday, everybody. Aaron from Midwest Pac Baseball Club here, trying our first video set of hints to help kids with recruiting process in college baseball. Want to talk real quick about a couple of the things that, as we talk to college coaches across the Midwest, that we hear on a really frequent basis is things that are turnoffs and things that, quite honestly, maybe parents and players don't realize that they're even doing, that they're even engaging in. I want to address some things that players do, some things that parents do, some things that you guys can avoid. Something to know about college coaches is that they look at the game and the prospecting game in a rather clinical manner. There's not a whole lot of emotion that's tied to it. Unlike parents, where we have kids, and so we have an emotional component, and we certainly love our kids and want them to do better and have the best, and we view them in a little different light maybe than a coach does. So a coach is looking for players that'll fit the needs of his team, and quite honestly, players that'll fit those needs, giving them the least amount of drama possible. What we like to say is that the players and parents, but players especially, need to be low maintenance. That means that coaches don't have to worry about whether the player is going to be eligible, whether the player is going to get in trouble with drinking or drugs or things of that nature, whether the player is going to show up to practice on time, whether they're going to forget their spikes, things like that. So when it comes down to being that clinical and that very specific, we got to do everything that we can to help ourselves out as players and everything we can do to help our kids out. A lot of times coaches will cross a player off of a list for something that the player did, the parent did, and unfortunately that player or parent will never know that school was interested in them. Talked to a coach last summer from a Big Ten school who said that when he's out scouting at a tournament, parents and players will never know that he was ever interested in them if they do something silly. He'll simply take a look, cross them off the list, and go on to the next one, and that's unfortunate. Recruiting is difficult. It takes a lot of time and effort and energy. So we don't want to do anything that really screws us up unintentionally. So here's a couple things that college coaches look for that I want to talk to you guys about today. Players, social media, your social media pages. I know Facebook is sort of thing for old people like me and your folks, but some of you have that, and you have Instagram and Twitter and all those things, and TikTok and all that kind of stuff. I will tell you, every single coach that I've talked to across the United States, they say that when they're interested in a player, the very first thing that they do before they ever talk to that player, that parent, the first thing they do is go to the kid's social media pages. And if they see things that they don't like, that think they're going to cause them to be high maintenance players, that would bring bad attention to their university, to their program, they simply cross them off the list and go to the next player. Parents, I want to address this next topic to you. Clean up your social media pages. The second thing that college coaches do is go to the social media pages of parents, and they look for the exact same things. Are these crazy parents? Are they going to cause me grief? Are they going to be high maintenance? Okay, again, coaches look at this clinically. Your son may run a 6.6 60, may throw the ball 84 miles an hour across a diamond, may have an exit velocity at 91 miles an hour, and be a great candidate to be a Division I shortstop. Well, guess what? Graduating class of 2021, there are about 750 of those kids floating around the United States. Coaches have many to choose from. They're not going to pick the one that has a parent that causes grief. Okay? So clean up the social media pages. Okay? Please, please, please do it. Again, you'll never know whether a school is ever interested in your son. The second thing, parents, and now, I'm a parent. I have a son who's a sophomore in high school, going through the recruiting process right now. Do not do the work for your son. Okay? There's nothing that screams interested player more than a parent saying, my son's dream is to play college baseball. More than anything in the world yet, the coach has never heard from that player. Every conversation is with that parent. Coaches want to hear from kids. They want to learn to know the kid. They're going to be spending 4 years with that player, with that kid. Don't do the work for your kids. Let them do it. Let them research the schools. Let them make communication with the coaches, emails, phone calls, things like that. Develop a relationship with that coach. Parents, I will tell you, and again, I understand that you want to do the best for your kids, but don't be that parent that does everything for your player. It will not be well received by college coaches. Okay, so please refrain from that. Another thing, parents. Okay, this is a tough one. Nobody wants to admit that they're this parent, because sometimes they are every once in a while. Sometimes they're overtly that parent. Okay, don't be that parent at a ball game that is obnoxious, that yells at umpires, that yells, "Call it both ways, Blue. That was a strike. Why wasn't that one a strike?" Okay, don't be that. Coaches don't like that. That puts you right on top of the list as that parent that's going to cause me problems. You're that high maintenance parent, which therefore makes your child high maintenance. Go to the game, sit, watch, cheer your son on, take notes of things that they could do better, and then have that discussion with them after the game. Don't yell at your kid through the fence. Don't yell at coaches. Don't yell things aren't fair. Don't yell at umpires. Don't tell them that he doesn't know how to call a game. It's not impressive. All it does is makes you look silly and really, really eliminates your son's chances. Again, if a college coach is sitting in the stands, they'll pick out whose son is yours. They're pretty good at that. And again, they'll cross him off of their list, and you'll never know that they had any interest in him. Players, be respectful and hustle on the field, off the field, even while you're warming up. Coach years ago, actually when I was going through the recruiting process, coach from Bethel College in Mishawaka, Indiana, made mention that he will go to watch a prospect, and he gets there early enough to watch him warm up. If he doesn't like the way that he warms up, he leaves. It says a lot about a kid, about his work ethic, about how seriously he takes the game, about how seriously he takes his craft. Work hard, even in warm-ups. Hustle on the field, hustle off the field. If you get a walk, ball 4, don't turn around, flip your bat out, back to the dugout, trot down. Anybody can do that. That takes no effort. Separate yourself. Separate yourself from the rest of the kids at that tournament. Drop your bat at home plate, sprint to first base. I know, guys, that's not done very often these days, but you go back and look at video of Jim Brock, one of the greatest coaches in the history of NCAA baseball, coached at Arizona State, won some national championships, put a lot of players in Major League Baseball. That's what his players did. They were required to run on the field, run off the field. If they walked, drop the bat at home plate, sprint to first base. That's what coaches want to see. They want to see players that approach the game correctly. They want to see them be respectful of the game, be respectful of the umpires. I'll tell you, and I see this quite a bit, and it drives me crazy. I see a kid that swung at a pitch that was 2-3 inches off the plate, probably 4 or 5 inches high, and then they take the next pitch, the exact same pitch for strike 3, and turn around and look at the umpire like, how can you call that a strike? Well, son, you just established that that's a strike because you were willing to swing at it before, so you can't put the blame on the umpire. So you give the umpire a rotten look, and you put your head down, shaking it, going back to the dugout. That is nothing less than unimpressive to a college coach. Okay? If you made a mistake, if you swung at a bad pitch, and even if the umpire does make a bad call, just to own it, turn around, go back to the dugout, put your helmet down, put your bat away, get ready to go out and play defense. You know, coaches will respect that. They'll recognize that. Okay? Approach the game correctly. Players, last thing that I want to tell you, and I heard this from a coach just this week in Ohio, a Division I coach. He told me the thing that drives him the craziest is kids not knowing the process. Okay, and this goes back to parents doing the job for your kids. Players, learn the process. Okay, you can get information from us. You can go to NCAA websites. You can go to schools' websites. But you need to know when schools can talk to you, when colleges can talk to you, when parents can talk to coaches, all those things, when official visits are, all that kind of stuff. You've got to know that stuff. Coaches, again, get to look at thousands of players from across the United States. They don't have time to be wandering around trying to figure out, holding kids' hands, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Holding kids' hands through the recruiting process, okay? Learn it. What the process is, take grasp of it, and treat it like a job. Okay, you got to learn that. And about the last thing that I would say to parents, this is something that I heard too, and this is a very specific thing. A coach that used to coach in the Big Ten, now coaches in the Pac-12, said that if he sees a parent after a game carrying his kid's equipment, bat bag, catcher's equipment, things like that, he will scratch them off the list. He has no interest. General consensus is that kid is entitled or the parents are overbearing, one of the two. And after thousands and thousands of kids, I think he's probably pretty close to being accurate in his assessment. So everybody, this is not an exhaustive list of the things that you can do to hurt, to kill your kids' recruiting process or players to kill your recruiting chances. But I think you can see an overall theme here, okay? Be low maintenance, okay? Be low maintenance in the way you act. Be the player that coaches believe that they can count on in a situation. They don't have to worry about. Parents, the exact same thing, okay? Midwest Pac Baseball Club is new to this travel ball venue. We're certainly not new to baseball as a whole. We've got lots and lots of experience in the game at all levels. If there's anything that we can do to help your kids out, please feel free to give us a call. Visit our website at www.midwestpacbaseball.org. Take a look at our recruiting pages. Take a look at some of the things that we do. Our belief is that we are baseball pure and simple. Our job is solely to help kids get recruited to play baseball in college, and we try to do that in the most affordable manner possible. So if there's anything that we can do to help, please feel free to let us know. We'd love to work with you. Thanks a lot. Post any questions and we'll get back with you.